Well, we're here to talk today about a new song that I just released. It's called Johnnie. And this was originally released back in about 1981-ish. The band I was with at the time was called Ratler.
The five-member band hails from the Cedar Rapids area, but they play all across the Midwest. The basic nucleus of the band has been together about 4 years, but it's been in the past year that the band has really put their music and their finances together to make it work.
We spend probably $1,000 a month on gasoline just to get us to gigs, and that's the big expense. And then sometimes we get rooms with our jobs, and sometimes we don't. It's just the road is expensive, but for us, there was no other way we could do it because, I mean, we've all worked the jobs, you know, and the band on the weekend, and it just wasn't going to work that way for us. We weren't going to achieve our goals that we wanted to doing that, so we just decided we quit our jobs. Some of us had really good jobs, and we went on the road, and we've really been successful now. It's starting to really pick up.
Instruments and equipment are expensive, not to mention the cost of keeping 6 or 7 people in food and attire. But Ratler seems to be doing it, and doing it rather well. You can see Ratler at Leisure World in Kirksville this Friday and Saturday, playing nightly from 8 until 12.
And we did several studio demos of originals that we had planned to make it the big time with. And this was one of them. And it's co-written by Dan Boddicker.
Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, Johnnie comes marching home. When Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, Johnnie comes marching, when Johnnie comes marching, Johnnie comes marching home.
I just bought a new guitar. Well, it was a used guitar, and I was plinking around on it in the practice studio one night, and started, you know, I got this really good vibe from this new to me guitar, and came up with this picking pattern. I thought, wow, that's kind of wrote music, or at least the guitar part, and brought it, you know, the next time we had rehearsal with the full band, and we started jamming on it, and Dan had a pad of paper and he just started writing lyrics, and it just flowed out of him, and before we knew it we had a song. He came up with this, well, why don't I do like a marching roll on the snare, and then Dan says, oh yeah, we could do When Johnnie Comes Marching. I actually had 3-part harmonies on that chorus section on the original, but back in, and I decided to do redo the song on my own album. I decided, Dan Boddicker originally sang it, and he was, you know, had a higher range than I did. I was always kind of a bass. And so I tried singing it, and I couldn't sing with the kind of power that the vocal required. And so I was thinking about it a few days, and decided, well, maybe I'll just keep it in the original key, and that way I can sing it down a whole octave and do it in more of a Johnny Cash kind of a voice. So that's what I decided to do, and that's how it turned out this way. And the unique thing about this song is it's called Johnnie, and I'm singing in my Johnny Cash voice, and I also had Johnny Reardons playing bass on it.